The power of his dream brings you here. His man, Sean Carlard.
Touchpoint for today, coming from the Cultural Transformation Through Interpersonal Skills, the course that teaches you emotional intelligence when it comes to connecting with intent, and that is by building better relationships. And love is being kind. We dealt with that one, how to be good to others, remembering that dynamic, the way you see yourself is the way you're going to treat others. Now, how is it that when we look at ourselves, we do battle to accept what we see in the mirror? Now, that's very, very important, and this is one of the greatest dynamics I've ever learned around relationships, and it's really, really changed my personal life in my relationship, even with my daughter and the people that I know. Hurting people hurt people. Wow. And loved people love people. Now, when we're in relationships, some titles have certain responsibilities. Like a mother and father, they should be loving us. But if we're only receiving hurt from our parents or anybody else in our life that should be loving us, well, here's the answer. Hurting people hurt people. If that's all that a person's ever felt in their life is hurt, they're only going to be able to give you hurt. Even though they are loving you to the best of your or their ability, it's not going to be communicated correctly because they are hurting. And it's a very, very important dynamic. It does help people overcome abuse that they've had in their life continually, verbally, physically, emotionally, because a lot of times we think it's our fault, that's what happened to us. It was us. It was our fault. But you know what? Being that young, it couldn't have been. So it doesn't take away the pain and the hurt that we went through, and it doesn't mean the person shouldn't suffer consequences for it in their own lives. But you know what? It does help us let them go and for us to move on, because we understand that they are really hurting as an individual. And that is an understanding for us as to why it happened in the first place. And to remember that if hurting people are hurt people and they could actually do that to a person, how messed up and hurting must they be? So it doesn't take away the scars, but it does give you an understanding on how you can move forward, realizing that the hurt was always on them. But there is a flip side. Loved people love people. And when we find a hurting person in our life and we're a person that's been loved, well, that's what's going to happen. Love is going to come out of our life and we're going to love others, those hurting people. And because we have that understanding about that dynamic, hurting people hurt people, we are able to love them because we don't take it personally. Because it was something that they already had within them that they brought into the relationship. It wasn't on you. It was always on them. But this is on you now, that if you are going to be a hurting person because of that, you're going to go ahead and you're going to hurt others. So I trust you're going to learn to love yourself, and hopefully we can help you with that. And also you're going to be loving others because of that. That is going to be a consequence of being loved. Story does continue. Don't you go away.